Okay, energy is a little low today, but we're gonna push through because it is March 31st, and that means time for March favorites. I am excited for these favorites today, actually, so maybe that will help me get my energy up. Last month's favorites, they were okay. This month, I think I have some really good ones for you. So, subscribe, like, comment down below. Let's go ahead and get started. We will start this time with food and nutrition. Okay, so in a few ways, this favorites video is really just a recap of my favorite things that I've already probably shared with you guys over the month, and that's really obvious because my first two favorites are this mini kind bar, which I've been talking about the mini kind bars practically all day, every day, I feel like, on the channel, on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram if you don't, daily health, wellness, and fitness tips. But all of these mini kind bars are gluten-free. All of the mini ones are 100 calories, and they come in a box of mixed flavors, so you don't have to get stuck eating the same flavored bar every day after day. Nothing changes ever. I will say though that this one is caramel, almond, and sea salt, and this is my favorite flavor. The caramel and the sea salt is just amazing. I'm really not a sea salt kind of person, so I feel like that's saying a lot, but also it's really interesting because my other food and nutrition favorite is these Skinny Pop popcorn mini cakes in sea salt, and I talked about this like a video or two back. I got these originally for my healthy road trip snacks video because Christian and I were going to Santa Cruz, and I bought sea salt, which are these, and I also bought cinnamon sugar, which I had a few times before, and I basically got the sea salt for Christian because he tends to like salt more than sweet, and I tend to like sugar or sweet, so I went for the cinnamon sugar ones for myself. But then we brought these with us when we went on our hike in the redwoods at the Nicene Forest, something like that. And they're so good. And then I recently started bringing them to work, and they're really just like chips. But it's just funny because both of these are a kind of salty-er flavor, at least, and traditionally I've been very much a sugar kind of gal. So I'm into these for whatever reason. So if you like salt, you'd probably like these. And if you think you like sugar and are not a super huge fan of salt, you might want to give these a try as well, because you might be surprised like I was. All right, let's move on to beauty. Now, I have two beauty favorites this month that I'm going to share with you, but I will be doing a more in-depth video on both of these items as well, and just like my whole face routine, because I'm always talking about how my skin is super sensitive and my eyes are always puffy, so I have a pretty good routine down. It's been working for probably the last month, and that includes this gel eye mask. That's so silly. It has cutout eyes. I guess I'll take it out. The eyes are cut out, and it velcros in the back, so I put it on, and it looks like this. I don't want to put it on because I have makeup on, and it velcros in the back. I keep it in the fridge. You're supposed to keep it in the fridge. Not supposed to put it in the freezer, I think, because it'll explode probably. But the gel is just really cooling. It is really nice, and it helps just depuff underneath my eye. It's essentially like having a wet towel on your face, but because of the cutout eyes, you can still see. So I'm putting this on my face for 15 minutes a day, morning and night. Every morning, I would say. I'm very good about it. Nighttime, sometimes I'm not so good about it, but most days I'm putting it on day and night. So that's been helping me greatly. I got this off Amazon for probably like $25. So super great purchase. Never looking back on that one. My second beauty favorite is the Dr. Brandt Needles No More Baggage Eye Depuffing Gel that I got from my Spring FabFitFun box. And it's super awesome. I am liking it. I mean, it's working fine. Sometimes it has a very cooling feel to it, which can be a lot, especially for my sensitive skin, but the real reason I have this here, my real favorite for the month, is simply putting this on before working out. I swear by that right now. I do think that is probably one of the bigger game changers to my skin/eye routine. I work out at 6 a.m. most days. I wake up at 5:30. I'm in the garage by 6. I put this on beforehand, and the gel working as itself, like doing what it does, and then combined with working out, which is just increasing blood flow through my body, I think those are pairing together really well. And then I will put this on again after I shower and then before I put on the eye mask. I feel like doing it in that order after the shower is good for my skin or good for my eyes, because the cooling eye mask is like really allowing this to set in, because it's calming everything down and kind of trapping it in there. I don't know that that's what's happening, but that's what it feels like. And I would say that my face and my eyes especially are looking pretty good. I hope they're looking pretty good in this video. So I think it's working. I would really give that a try if you're having problems with extra puffy eyes, because mine were just looking tired. So I had to figure something out. And I think this this pre-workout / intra, because it's like during your workout, and this a few times a day, also these combined, are a good step in the right direction. Okay, I do have some fashion favorites for you today. Last month in February, I had a pink mauve pair of Nikes because I had like just figured out the idea of walking around, or like errands shoes sort of a deal. So I was at the Nike outlet, which is actually like really close to me, and I found these. They're like a gray-green sort of deal. I think they're super cute. Again, they're a neutral, just like the pink. They were pretty much a neutral, but I can wear pinker leggings with these shoes, and I actually have a lot of pink leggings, which is kind of surprising for myself when I think about it. But I just really like the chunkiness of them. I like how clean they look. This is my second pair of walking around Nikes. I don't know what to call it. It was like casual shoes. And I'm just really loving them. I just really love the idea of casual shoes still. So there we go. That's a fashion favorite. And then kind of fashion, kind of FYI, a favorite of mine this month is really the Lululemon quality assurance policy, I guess you would say. So these two pairs right here are, can you see that? These are both Lulu leggings. I got these probably 3 years ago, actually, from my mom, I want to say, for Christmas. I think I actually got both of these pairs from my parents for Christmas. And this is actually a cropped version. I originally had a pants version of whatever this pant is. I should probably know, but I don't. And I had to get them hemmed, which honestly I wouldn't recommend, because the pant was no longer fitted to my ankle, even though it was now ankle length. And that just always kind of bothered me, like it was baggy around there. But then what happened with both of these pairs is the inner thigh seam ripped. So I had meant to go back to Lulu for so long that basically I no longer had these two pairs of leggings in my like rotation, you know what I mean? Like it had been so long that I already didn't have the pair. I finally got myself down to Lulu. They took my pant and just gave me this pair instead. Like they completely exchanged my leggings for me, and this pair was probably 2 years old. So I essentially I really did get a completely new, basically free, I would say, because I had already counted these out, pair of leggings from Lulu. So that's awesome. Also because they're cropped and not the pant, they're more fitted at my leg now. So I really got such a good, that was such a good deal for me. And then these ones were 3 years old, so they told me that they no longer make them. They can't just replace the pair for me, but I was able to send them into their seamstress, and I've worn these a couple times now. I can't even tell the difference from like where they added in the seam. So I guess I just wanted to give a little shout out to the Lululemon Quality Assurance Program, because it's amazing. For as much as you're paying for their items, which I have talked about before, like it's just too expensive, point blank, I guess I would take it back slightly, because they really do guarantee the quality of their products. And like Nike doesn't do that. I don't know anyone else that does this good of a job in quality assurance. So that's a favorite for me this month. All right, I think last month I talked about like not having any nutrition or fitness favorites just because I was like kind of on autopilot, everything was going well, so all of my favorites were just kind of random other stuff I was into. I obviously had some food this month that was a favorite of mine, and I do actually have some fitness favorites that I wanted to share. So I currently am doing 2 exercises that I've pretty much never done before, and I would say for the most part I'm pretty in love. The first one I feel like I might regret, even though I am kind of loving it right now. It is pretty extra, and that would be what I am calling an extra range of motion hip thrust, because that's a lot easier than always saying and always writing shoulder and foot elevated hip thrust. So I have been doing these in the garage with a barbell and with just a band. I probably do really enjoy them much more with just a band because the setup is just insane if you're doing it with a barbell, but I am currently including that like in this workout cycle. So I have to use a bench and my box, and then you kind of have to like wiggle your weight in and up to get both feet and shoulder elevated and stay under a barbell. But I really like the extra range of motion on the downward part of the hip thrust. I like that stretch where you don't feel that when your feet are on the ground because you can't stretch further than the ground is, you know what I mean? So I just really enjoy that movement. I'm only using 85 pounds for when I do it with a barbell because the setup is so much, and you're like, it's probably not the safest thing because hip thrusting is pretty safe, but with my feet and my shoulders both going different places, I don't know. It's probably, maybe I shouldn't be recommending that, but I would give it a try. I mean, you never know. And especially with just a band without a barbell, I think it's a super great movement. It's really good for like a burnout at the end of your lower body workout. And the second movement that I'm doing that I'm super in love with is the sideline hip lift. So right now I am pairing that with single leg RDLs, I believe. So I'll do my right leg working, my left leg working, and then move directly to the ground and do right leg working sideline hip lift, and then move to the left side, if that makes sense. So it's all the deadlifting and then all the hip lifting for the superset. Super, super hard. It looks easy. I would say it looks a million times easier than it feels, but to raise both the hip on the ground and the leg in the air at the same time and to just come up like that, whew, that really burns. And this last week when I included those in my workout, I managed to get 2 or 3 sets of 10, maybe 2 sets of 10, which was a lot harder than I had expected it to be. Before that, I was only doing sets of 8, so it's a difficult movement. It's a combination of a leg lift and a hip lift. So it's just a lot going on, but you really feel that working in the leg that's on top. So I would give that exercise a try as well. No setup at all because it's just you and the ground. So there it has kind of an advantage over that extra range of motion hip thrust, especially with the barbell. So maybe don't do the one with the barbell because I feel like the last time I did it, I almost broke my hair clip. I had a hair clip in. So I feel like it's maybe just doing a little bit too much, but definitely try the extra range of motion hip thrust just with a band. Do pair it with like some abductions and you'd have yourself a really good glute burnout. Okay, finally I have some TV favorites for you. I'm sometimes embarrassed. I feel like I watch a lot of TV, but I'm also alone a lot and I kind of just like the noise of it. I also do very low intense cardio, so I usually watch something while I'm doing that. Both of these shows I am watching on Hulu. If you don't have Hulu, you can still watch, well, my first one would be The Case Against Adnan Syed, which I'm probably saying wrong. It's the story that was on the first season of Serial, the podcast. If you happen to listen to that, I did, and I really liked it. It was a crazy story about this high school girl who ends up dead, well, missing and then found dead in a park, and then they basically pin it on the ex-boyfriend, but there's just a lot of weird stuff that goes on where it doesn't look like for sure the ex-boyfriend did it, and it just leaves a lot of questions in the air. So the podcast was really good, and the show right now, it's a 4-part, so actually the 4th part comes out today. It's also on HBO, but I have like that add-on to Hulu. So if you have HBO and you don't have Hulu, you can still watch it. If you have Hulu, you can get the HBO add-on and then you can watch it as well. Otherwise, go to your friend's house or try something like that. My second show favorite is also on Hulu, so I don't know where else you could watch it. It's a Hulu original, and that would be The Act, which I think it's Munchausen's by proxy. So basically it's a story of a mom and a daughter and the relationship that kind of explodes because of the mom basically creating and pretending that her daughter has all these ailments that she just doesn't have. That one is more of a series. It's not just 4 episodes. So that is new episodes every Wednesday. And so far I think there's 3 or 4 episodes out. It's just super good if you're into that. It's a true, or it's based on true events. So if you're into that kind of, I would say, psychological crime, murder-ish, you know? Yeah, I think you would really like the act, so you should definitely check it out. But other than that, that is all of our March favorites. I feel like my energy levels came up for this, so I'm really happy about that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you have post notifications turned on. Make sure you're following me on Instagram for daily health, wellness, and fitness tips, and I will see you guys on Friday.